What's up, everybody?
What's up, everybody?
We're back.
We're back with part 2
Go
of our
watch some more Panic episodes.
Part 2 of our little commentary series. Let's do it, huh?
This is where the production value really goes up.
We're watching part 1 of episode 5.
Yes.
Which is the biggest episode yet.
Mm-hmm. Definitely probably the biggest budget that we spent.
Until the ending, I would say.
I guess, yeah. This one was the most involved, though.
This one was, definitely.
It was a ton of extras and the most days shooting, the most different setups and stuff.
Usually beforehand, it was always Chris, me, a couple other people, maybe a cinematographer. But this one was the first one where it was like, oh, wait, we need, like, an actual crew. We need extras, we need cast, we need a whole, like, a lighting person, all of that.
Yeah. Shut up. You just laugh every time you see me.
Every time I see you pop up, it's like, oh, there he is.
There's Kikax. We had to reshoot all the audio. All of it is ADR because the car audio just sucked.
This is the first time we've also shown Lily sort of being a little tired.
Yeah, a little roasty.
Of his anxiety.
Sure, yeah.
Which is understandable, you know.
It's getting more serious. Like, his anxiety's getting less cute by the day.
Yeah, it's like, I'd get sick of it if I was her.
And it's definitely like, this is the episode that questions, all right, should they be together? Why are they together? Are they even really together?
Yeah.
And it's also definitely, this is what changes Sam fully. Yes. Like, the beginning of this episode, he's definitely different from what we're used to, but he's still pretty much the same. By the end, he is fully changed.
Shot that at my dad's house.
Yep, this is all your dad's house. It's all about your family. We got both your parents acting in it. We shot at your mom's place.
The original plan for this episode was for it to be a bigger party. Like a rager.
We wanted it to be a nighttime,
crazy nighttime party. Yeah. But we decided to tone it down to be more of a get-together party.
Sure, yeah.
But Sam's anxiety would still, freak out and everything.
Because also shooting at night, because we're shooting, 10 hours, 12 hours, so we would start at, and it was during the summer, I think, so it would have started at 9 when the sun was down, and then we shooting to 5 a.m. and do that a couple times. Nah.
So
I didn't know they played my royalty-free jam in here. We had a good amount of extras.
We did good.
You did not think people would show up.
No, so basically we put out a casting call on a breakdown website, and it was, come down and just hang out. And I was like, no one's gonna show up, no one's gonna show up to this. And a lot of people showed up. It was crazy. It was like, wow, this shoot was relatively easy.
Yep.
For being such a big shoot, not a lot of stuff really went wrong while shooting it.
Yeah. The shoes thing, that was something I went through in real life.
Yeah.
I didn't know shoes were such a big deal. So, alright. I feel like this episode is the closest to the tone that we would like the whole series to kind of be. Because this one really does strike that balance of cute, quirky, funny comedy, and but no, stuff actually matters. We're kind of getting deeper. Yeah. We're better at the drama a bit. So, my glasses are this now all of a sudden. And in a couple seconds, they're not going to be. You want to explain what happened there, Keaton?
Why did your glasses change?
If I remember correctly, what happened was we shot a bunch of this stuff on day 1, and then day 2 happens, and we needed to shoot a couple other scenes that happened at the same time. And so we go in to shoot it, and we shot the entire Daniel scene, the entire DJ scene, and the panic attack, dancing moment where he runs away. All of that, and then I realized I had the wrong glasses on.
Because you had upgraded your glasses to these glasses in real life.
Yep.
But you would switch them out to the dorkier glasses when you played Sam.
Yeah, and so I wrote in this episode that he'd get his glasses broken, so then on camera I'm wearing the better glasses.
But we all forgot, so we shot these glasses.
Shot a good 2-3 hours, and then it was oh, wrong glasses. So we were so we reshot the Daniel scene because we're that scene's more important. So this is where we were actually hey, we're going to write Daniel in more, kind of give him more depth a bit, slowly build him up. I think by this point we knew we wanted them to be best friends by the end, so.
I love how he's wearing a visor, and you can see a little bit of hair popping out right at the top. For that, we just had one person on the camera zooming in, and then we had another person with the focus. Just
focus pull.
This is probably one of my favorite shots of Panic.
Danny Roy, I had acted with him before because at the college that we were at, he sort of acted as well, and then I was the main actor that everyone knew, but no one else really acted. So we ended up in a couple shorts together, and I ended up casting him in Don't Look Away, and I thought he killed it. Like, he did exactly how I imagined he would do it.
He's a great, like, low energy, douchey,
like,
but not mean.
Likable, douchey, cool guy.
Yeah.
I knew this was probably by like episode 2. We already knew the party episode was going to happen. I was like, I want Danny Roy to play Jimmy no matter what. We finally got him, and he was exactly what I wanted. Like, he completely really killed it with this role.
Yo, you see all that artwork in the back? That's Daddy's. That's Daddy's from kindergarten. This was also, we wanted to answer a couple of these questions for Sam. It was like, has he been in a relationship yet? Has he lost his virginity? Has he kissed Lily yet?
Yeah.
It's like, we're kind of all wondering this.
Yeah, like, drinks lemonade aggressively.
Yeah, he's like, I'm so sad. What do I need?
Lemonade.
We have Jimmy right there, and then in the corner, bright yellow, we have Lily right there. It's kind of like the devil and the angel sort of on the shoulders. You see the sandbag with the C-stand in the background, and we just kept it because Jimmy covers it most of the time, like right there. We wanted to film this scene in a way where he was peer pressuring Sam, but it wasn't really like super duper peer. Like, do it. It's more of like, come on, have fun.
What I like about Jimmy is he's definitely like a gray character where you can't really ever tell, is he actually trying to be a homie with Sam, or is he just kind of or is he using him to get the party more lit?
While we were making this episode, we were trying to figure out if we wanted it to be one part or two parts.
Yes.
Because we first wanted it to be one part, but it was like, it would be, 30 minutes?
It's going to be...
So it would have skyrocketed in length, and it was like, all right, we have a good cliffhanger, let's just make it 2 parts.
We never envisioned the series episodes to reach 27 minutes long. We never envisioned that. I think we wanted them to be like 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah.
That was our goal.
And then we kind of just kept throwing more story in there.
Yeah.
These were supposed to be edited in part 1, these slow motion shots.
Yeah.
But they didn't really fit with the peer, because we wanted it to be like, oh, come on, do it. And then it cuts to the slow motion. So we were also trying to figure out a good way to maybe recap part 1 at the beginning of part 2, but not show the same scenes again. So we were like, let's just
throw in.
Let's throw in the slow-mo that we've never used. Yeah.
Going in. Once again, I had a blast. It was really weird. The dancing. I had 0 alcohol shooting this, but I literally just had to turn my brain off. I went, I must not care that I look ridiculous right now. I just have to do it. That shot's great. I love that shot. And
then we were like, anyone who wants to jump in the pool, you can jump in the pool. And we got a good amount of people who wanted to jump in the pool.
And it was nighttime. It was a little cold.
Uh-oh.
So this is the part where, like, again, he and Lily don't share a whole lot of screen time together, except episodes 3 and 6, because she's been gone for like 10 minutes. I remember I was getting a little rowdy shooting when I was drunk.
Yeah, we had to tell Chris to calm down a little bit while shooting, because he kind of acted drunk.
Well,
and he was just getting rowdy and energetic.
I had to embody the drunkenness. Yeah. So I was just like, I am in party mode right now.
So we had to be like, yo, calm down.
I just remember, like, because we'd be like, all right, let's get the shot ready. Okay, we're going to be doing this. And I'm, like, talking and just, like...
Yeah, you're, like, talking and stuff. And I'm like, yo. We're trying to film this right now, guys.
What's up, dude? Hey, it worked, though.
It worked.
Right?
It worked.
I gave good performance. Okay, hold up real quick. Come here.
What do you say there?
That entire, like, phrase that I say is one of my favorites. I go... Oh, wait. Oh, yo. Come here. I like say, come here.
You're like talking to a puppy.
Yeah. How did a chump like me end up with a babe like this?
We also wanted to answer that question, where it's like, why would Lily be with
How aware
Sam?
Is Sam? Is Sam just super naive, or does he keep it all in? He keeps it all in.
Yeah, so we've never had big cussing in this show. Anyone dropping hard curse words or anything, and it was like, to make him sort of... go from the likable douche to like I don't like him, we should have him curse a little bit.
And I knew from the beginning this would be the first episode we hear the F word, and it would be him, because that's like, not only does he like push Sam, but he says the F word, and it's just like, yo, this cool guy, name of the episode, it's gone now.
We've never had a full antagonist in Panic as well. The antagonist has always been the anxiety. So it's like, to make him a full-on antagonist.
And it's also a complicated antagonist, because at the same time, he's learning stuff about... Lily's just been this shining angel the whole time, and now it's like, wait...
we're kind of learning some stuff about her.
Maybe. Yeah. Every character screws up in this episode. No one's perfect at all. I love that. That was like the first real time, I think... things got dark and dramatic.
Where it's like, oh, what's gonna happen?
Snap. Because like I said in part 1, whenever we try to do the dramatic moments, sometimes we don't quite get it right. Usually the sad moments are where it's like, it was a little melodramatic. We kind of get better at that later on. But like the intense moments, especially here,
I think we did a really good job
of that.
So you can see the towel on the floor.
Wait,
you not notice that?
No.
So that's a cool shot. That's a Zolly. So what you do to pull that off is that you have someone move the camera back and then someone zoom it forward. Or the opposite so that it goes like that. It's very tough though because it has to stay in focus and everything.
This single shot took so much editing. Not only did the audio, like I took so many different sound effects to make that sound. I like knew that smash needed to be perfect. The other thing...
The boom mic was in the shot.
Fully in the shot. I went in and CGI'd it out. We can show the original, but I just went in and like copied and pasted a ton of different stuff from other shots that we did of this to get it to work perfectly. And no one noticed this because it's all the way up in the corner. It only lasts for several frames, but it was like, yo, this is the best shot that we got. But the boom mic's right there. What do we do?
Wasn't there a shot that you missed?
I missed, yeah. There was one where I fully, like, just missed.
You grabbed it and you missed.
Oh. Stop!
Oh, I missed. I love this shot, too.
That's a great shot.
The slow-mo was perfect.
With the lights.
The lights, yeah. That punch is not even a part of the shot, I'm pretty sure. That's fully fake. I'm pretty sure I just fully copied and pasted that punch in.
So we this
we
was
actually
the
broke my glasses
final
in real
time
life
because these were the old glasses. So I was like, all right.
And also,
out with the old, in with the new.
I had updated my prescription, so they weren't even good anyway.
Good. That's outside of.
That's
my
right
dad.
outside.
That's
of
right
house.
outside of my dad's house.
Nowhere.
It's literally we're like, all right, it's dark. No one's gonna notice.
No one's gonna notice. Here's a scene I wish we could have done better.
It just goes on a little long.
It's the same shot, reverse shot.
Basically,
which it's the car. Everything car-related sucks.
Yeah,
you know?
I like the idea of the scene, and I think it's good. It's definitely better than I think the ending of episode 4 in terms of drama.
Well, yeah, we slowly got better.
Yeah,
every time.
But I think 1, it was a little too long, and 2, we kind of set ourselves up to fail a little bit putting it in a car because it's like there's not really a whole lot we can do with that.
This took a lot of takes. There was a lot of talking.
Well, because it's like a lot to memorize.
I was getting angry while shooting this scene.
Yeah, there are a couple. We got to show a couple bloopers. You got a little heated at yourself because you kept flubbing up a little bit.
I never would have. I'm just gonna go again. Let's go.
Because it was like intense, and also we were like running low on time,
and
I was just rushed, and I was like, I gotta get this right. The final shot I really like.
I like the final shot. I think crickets and
the final moment works, even though the scene goes on too long.
The final moment
works.
really like.
Episode 6 was the episode that we were building up to. We kind of knew that like. If we never finish the series, as long as we get to episode 6, we'll be happy.
We've been planning pretty much from the beginning. We're going to build up Sam and Lily as this couple, and then 6 would be the one where it's like, oh, wow, they're an actual couple. They're meeting the parents, they're doing all of this. But then it breaks up, and it breaks everyone's heart. So
this episode's got a lot of interesting stuff going on. Right away, we start off with not Sam, and it's a kid, and we hear whispering from people we don't know, and we're just confused.
We got Zach.
Actually, his manager was my manager when I was acting back when I was 11 and 12 when I was Zach's age. And so
she hooked us up.
I reached out to her. I was like, yo, you got a kid who kind of looks like me, who's acting and stuff, who's around 11?
Sam always wears blue, and we decided to also have Lily wearing blue this episode.
Because she was always wearing yellow.
To kind of like, wah, I missed. Wah, exactly. I missed again.
It's like them.
Wah.
This episode, I was like, I don't even need to really even be Sam. I'm just kind of me now.
Your mom
killed it. Your mom...
Hey, Mom.
You're not gay!
Nope.
Thank God.
I love that. I love that entire bit.
Yeah.
Because the gay thing was just like a throwaway joke in episode 2.
It was a throwaway joke in episode 2, but then everyone latched onto it, and everyone was like, is Sam gay? So we were like, all right, let's write this to...
Let's have it be the mom is kind of low-key obsessed about it.
We have my mom as the mom actress. We need a powerful actor for the dad. We need a big actor for the dad. So we got Robert Craighead, who is an actual actor. He's in Future Man on Hulu. He's in a bunch of stuff like that.
He was in games like God of War, the new God of War. He's in Dead Rising 3.
He was in Tomb Raider, 2013's Tomb Raider. He's a big actor.
Yeah.
And he
plays a lot of villains.
Yeah, he's a family friend of mine. Him and my mom acted in stuff back in the day. We reached out to him. Super nice guy. Not at all like his character.
No, he's
Super
such a homie.
nice.
I remember one of my favorite exchanges with him because he has such like a deep, booming voice, and I was like, Robert, I want my voice to be like yours. How do I get that? And he was like, whiskey and cigarettes. And I was like, really? It was like, nah, mainly beer. And I'm like, oh, what's your favorite beer? Bud Light. He just always had an answer.
He's so happy Bud Light.
Yeah. I loved acting with him.
Yeah.
He just like put me on edge.
Every scene he was in was elevated because
Yeah.
he's such a good actor, and it elevates all of the actors around him as well.
And he just would give me so many subtle digs. Like, I loved having a character that I actively disliked, that I could work against, because that had never happened in Panic.
Yeah.
And so with this, it was like, there's a villain sort of that I can like be against, but it's complicated because I have to be chill, and he's also my dad, and I'm scared of him, but also I'm sure that I'm not scared. So this episode, it's not as good looking as episode 5. And
well, the problem with this episode that it's not as good looking as episode 5 is it's just one location sort of.
And the
it's just
location
an empty
itself
house.
is kind of bland.
Yeah.
But I think writing-wise, this episode was definitely the best at that point.
This was the best writing and sort of
best
acting as well.
Oh yeah, there's so much going on. Even though it is sort of a dinner scene for most of the episode, the 4 characters,
There's
so
a
much
lot.
is going on, and there's so much bouncing back and forth. That's what I really liked about this episode. And also, from the beginning, you really have a feeling of unease, where it's like, things are going too well sometimes. That's my actual bit.
Yeah, I don't think we took anything off the walls for this, did we?
I think we did. I had a couple posters up. I'm not that boring.
Oh, we also wanted them to say babe an annoying amount. Because that's always like the first time relationship thing.
It's
Where
a
it's like,
honeymoon
babe,
phase.
babe, babe.
Yep,
So it's like, all right, let's get him to do that. And then in the end, we have like a writing thing where the mom kind of gives them a jab for doing that.
Yeah.
They say babe practically every sentence.
That's the thing, where it's like, every little thing you put in your script has got to be there for a reason. So if you're going to have a ton of babes over and over again, pay it off in some way.
To shoot this, what did we do? We got a
little
of drywall from
little
Home
flat,
Depot.
like this big.
We just had a fun time.
I grabbed a hammer,
smashing it,
hammered away.
and then we basically, for all of those close-ups, we would have somebody behind the camera filming, and then I would be sort of there out of frame holding it so it looked like a part of the wall.
This is the other thing about this episode where we were like, we want to really show sometimes anxiety does come from some place.
Well, yeah, we never show sort of Sam's roots.
Yeah.
And this is sort of where it's like, oh, I can kind of see why Sam has anxiety.
Why does he have anxiety? Why is he emotionally stilted?
Yeah.
Why is he so unsure of himself?
We decided it was a one location at the dinner table for pretty much the entire episode, and the walls aren't that interesting in the background either.
It was my previous apartment.
Yeah.
Finally shot somewhere that's mine.
Yeah, so we were like, all right, we need to sort of tell the story with shots as well, and have the shots evolve over the episode. So it starts harmless enough with just a bunch of close-ups on people, and then the shots evolve from there,
So the peas... that came back. That's another setup and payoff. Not even a setup you realize was a setup to a payoff. And it comes back.
He's come back. So again, we're still only really doing close-ups, but then when 2 characters are interacting with each other, like the dad and Sam, it cuts to over the shoulders because they're both like building a barrier to each other, so they're kind of blocking the frame. So it's like, oh, Sam's getting a little defensive with the dad.
There's a lot of facing off between Sam and the dad, which is why we had them across from each other.
Yeah.
So adding in Lauren Francesco was sort of a last-minute thing with writing this episode. Originally, we knew first half is like, oh, things are getting uncomfortable, and then the second half of the dinner is where everything blows up. And I remember part of writing the episode, I was finding trouble figuring out what makes things blow up, how is it different.
How do we add anxiousness to also, like, this is pretty much right in the middle of the episode.
Yep.
How do we sort of spice it up?
Yeah. We take a thing where, once again, Sam is not actually as good as we, he's very sympathetic, but at the same time, he lies. He makes mistakes. He said...
And
with the girl?
For this, we, have you ever been with a girl? No. And then we kind of find out, sort of, maybe
Well,
not.
And that's the thing, where it's like, all right, he doesn't consider it, but it's also like,
Yeah. And for this, we wanted to change the lighting as well.
That's it,
At the
it's darker.
beginning, at the beginning, it's all bright and happy and orange, and now it's kind of blue, and you see some harsh shadows everywhere to kind of make it a little different as well.
Yeah.
Spice it up, if
Yeah.
you will. See, now we're really primarily shooting over the shoulders. We're not shooting the straight.
It's a lot
close-ups
dirtier.
anymore.
It's a lot shakier.
Yeah, it's shakier. There's always something covering the front of the frame,
Yeah.
something out of focus.
And that shot right there, when Lily's on camera, Brittany's taking up half of the frame.
Yeah.
Brittany doesn't have a single because she's even though she's brand new.
We didn't give Brittany a
she's
close-up.
always attached to either Lily or Sam.
Yeah.
This scene was tough.
Wasn't this like one of the first scenes we shot?
Maybe.
I think this was one of the first scenes we shot, which was tough because we had to shoot this before all of the other ones.
Low key the whole time, Sam has been kind of lying and
he hasn't used it or anything, but he kind of did it with a bad intention.
Yeah, it's to set up that his anxiety, he still feels like he got past it, but not only has his mistakes in the past caught up to him, but also his anxiety really hasn't gone away. And ultimately, the villain of the series is Sam's anxiety. It's always going against him no matter what. Even when he thinks he's beaten it, it's always there. And so that's an example here. And we also wanted to push Lily past her breaking point in this episode with
because now Lily has found something terrible that Sam has done.
Yeah, she now doesn't really trust him, and also his family is completely nuts.
And it's like, I mean, this is way more than she signed up for.
Yeah, they've been together for about 6 months now.
You can't blame her.
And if you meet the parents, and the parents are psycho like that, you're starting to kind of be like, oh my god, what have I got myself into? And then now all of a sudden you don't even trust your significant other.
With the trophy throw, we didn't want to hit Chris's wall, so we had another piece of drywall that we bought from Home Depot behind it as well. And you can sort of see the line right there where the drywall is not perfectly the same color as the wall, but you can't really tell.
This was probably the riskiest move we did, because I was saying, like, I'll just dodge it. It won't be that hard. And you're like, I don't know about that.
He's like, yeah, just throw the trophy at me. I'm going to just dodge it. And I'm like...
And then what I loved is you were pretty against it. And then when it came time to actually shoot the scene, I just kind of asked you again, like, yo, so we're just going to throw it at me, right? And you went, yeah, we're going to throw it at you. You, like, completely changed. You're like, all right, we're doing it.
Yeah, well, it was like, all right, what else are we going to do? All right, we're going to do it.
Yeah, and then it was difficult because it was, we don't want to mess up my wall, so we need someone holding the drywall. We don't have enough people. Also, it's risky because you're holding a drywall that something is being thrown at. So who's going to hold the drywall? Do we want Olivia to hold? No. So then you were the one who was holding it. So pretty much Olivia was throwing the trophy.
This whole scene was Olivia throwing the actual trophy at Chris, who had to dodge it, and me standing behind Chris, holding the drywall like that, also pretty much having to dodge it as well.
And so we had a little system where we were like, all right, we'll count it down. 3, 2, 1, go. Just like that. So we did that a few times, but each time something was off. It didn't really work, and we just kept doing it. We were getting better each time, like, okay, getting better and better. For some reason, Olivia decided to go 3, 2, and threw it on that, of all places.
3, 2. How'd that look?
And I just naturally dodged it, and if you check, 4 frames off from my head being in frame to then the trophy entering where my head was. It was 4 frames. I would have been hit by the trophy.
So it was perfectly shot somehow.
We
Olivia
got it.
did a good job.
This is what I wanted it to be pretty much. And we had never nailed dramatic moments, but
this
we
was
nailed
the first
it
dramatic moment that we fully nailed.
Yeah.
Chris is not very good with hot sauce, to put it lightly.
I'm terrible.
And so Chris was like, all right, how should we film this to make it look really realistic?
Because
I think it was your idea.
Yeah, it's always my dumb idea.
That he was going to just drink hot sauce.
I'll just drink a ton of hot sauce and then action. So yeah, the happy place. This is something where we want to take the happy place and slowly grow it into something deeper.
Lily would be in his happy place, of course.
And the first time, the happy place doesn't work out for him because when you're having a panic attack, you really can't do anything about it.
I love that transition.
Yeah,
Where did I see that? But I saw it in a movie, and I was like, yo, that transition's so sweet. We gotta do that.
Those 2 shots, for some reason, it took an hour and a half
of
setting up the lights.
Those 2 shots took so long.
They're good shots?
Yeah, we weren't using wireless lights either, so we basically had to get a bunch of extension cords, and we ran out of extension cords. So there's a 99-cent store, like, a block away.
Yeah.
So Chris is in the car, staying there, like modeling. Everyone else is setting up extension cords, running them, setting up the lights and everything like that. Meanwhile, I'm running to the 99-cent store across the street, buying more extension cords, running back. It was a mess.
It was a mess.
It worked.
And I was so frustrated because I was like, I'm going to be like tears streaming down my face. And I was sitting there focusing as much as I could to get myself to cry. And I ended up kind of getting to it and then doing it. And I was like, okay, all right. Are we going to do the shot? Half hour passes by and I'm like, dang it. So I'm trying to get it back and I kind of just couldn't. So it's more of just like dried tears, like
which sort of makes
cry,
sense.
which is like, all right, fine. But I was like, dang it. So but every time I want to cry and panic, somehow I don't get to.
The whole ending of that episode is really good, and it's kind of the first time we nailed dramatic scenes. And I'm pretty sure
we pulled a Game of Thrones. We have no music for the first time.
Yeah.
And credits, just silence.
Yeah, every
This was our Red Wedding episode, basically, like the episode where everything goes wrong and you didn't realize it would. But yeah, that's we're now
guys.
Right in the middle of panic.
In the middle of it.
Things got dark.
We have some exciting episodes to go. Next time we're going to be reacting to 7, which is one of my... I love 7.
7's really good. 7 is another good one that like blends early panic with
7.
later panic.
7, 8, and then 9.
And then 9. Thank you for watching.
Thanks for watching, guys.
See you in the next one.
Stay frosty.
Always.